huge SBCs are on the way, especially that one right there, which is going to have a big impact on the fodder market. And with us being only a few weeks away from Team of the Year, I've got an idea for an investment. Might get us both killed, but hey, if it works, it'll be a totally boss story. Cool?
No, it's not cool. No, I said it's not cool.
If you're looking to buy cheap and reliable FC24 coins, look no farther than my partner FUTLOOT and use my code ELITE, ELYYT, for an extra 6% at checkout. DiLorenzo is coming as a squad building challenge, and I think it'll happen today, which means that links to DiLorenzo could be on the rise, and some cards already from Serie A have been creeping up in price, and I think that they can go even higher with this DiLorenzo SBC. So when we take a look at some of the links to DiLorenzo, we can find you've got Locatelli. This is a card that was very, very active last week because he was in the FC Pro Live Group C. His card ended up getting an upgrade from 87 to 88, and that card skyrocketed in price. And if you take a look at some of these FC Pro Live players, you can see Locatelli, he went from like 50 to 100K. I think with this DiLorenzo SBC, he goes even higher. I'm not saying he's going to skyrocket to 140 or anything, but for him to go to 115,000, I think is very, very doable if this DiLorenzo SBC is good value. You can see, though, there's like 50% of the cards that with the upgrade went up in price. So, Ogbonna skied up to 100K. Locatelli up to 100K. Ali up to 100K. All of these guys were like 70,000 coins and below after they even got their upgrade. But Koulibaly got an upgrade, went down in price, and then Samakin got a big upgrade, went down in price. And you can argue some big over-investing going on with Samakin. But in general, it's tough to tell which ones are going to go up and which ones are going to go down. This Locatelli, though, obviously was one of the cards that went up. You can see that ever since that game finished, he actually went down after he got the upgrade, but once he did get that upgrade, he has only been going up since. He's at 100K now. I do definitely think he goes higher if this DiLorenzo is good value. But there's some other cards in here that could get good links. Kvaratskhelia, that's more of a risky one because it's much more expensive. But at 526K, it's pretty much cheaper than what it's been over the last week or so. If you can get in at this price or lower, I think you're looking good because he does get that Napoli link to DiLorenzo, but it isn't really in the exact same price bracket. I think Osimhen might be a little bit more of a safe option because, as you can see, once he got his upgrade up to 92 rated, he's been slowly rising as well. Sitting at 250, I don't think it's a bad price, especially since we're going into a weekend. It's not like we're going into Thursday, Friday, when the market drops. This is a pretty safe time to buy cards. They normally rise throughout the weekend, peak normally on Monday, Tuesday. So it's not a terrible time to buy anyway. So getting in on these links, even if this DiLorenzo SBC isn't good value, they should still hold their value. You might not lose too many coins, even if it ends up being a bad value SBC. But before we hop into the next SBC, I do want to ask you guys to drop a quick like on the video. Let's shoot for 400 likes today on this video. And I do want to thank you guys for all of the kind comments on the last video. I read through them all, made me feel a lot better. I really appreciate you guys. But DiLorenzo is not the only SBC on the way because we've got Player of the Month Mbappe as well. This is a huge SBC. It's going to have a big impact on the fodder market. And obviously we had the 92 come out last month. So if you did that Mbappe, that's kind of tough because this one's coming out right after it. But it's also going to be much more expensive. So at least you have that silver lining. It's probably not going to come out today or tomorrow or the next day, but in this next week, I do expect it to drop. What I think EA are doing is they're going to time it so that this card expires after Team of the Year is over so that you're able to craft it during Team of the Year, which is exactly what we had last year. In FIFA 23, there was a Player of the Month Mbappe that looked just like this, and I actually tried to craft it during Team of the Year. And when I say tried to craft it, I did craft it all the way until I got to one squad remaining, and it expired. And I never got my Mbappe. So I spent over 2 million coins worth of fodder just to not get the Mbappe. That hurt, and I have a little bit of PTSD from it. So if I do decide to craft this, I'm going to be much more careful this time around because I'm not letting that happen again. Nonetheless, it brings up the idea of fodder, which is super cheap right now. And even though we are pretty far away from Team of the Year still, probably 3 or 4 weeks away, you kind of question, are we going to have an opportunity cheaper than this to get involved in fodder? And could these cards rise in price before Team of the Year comes around? Well, I think that they definitely could, because if we take a look at even our club, I've already saved 19 packs, which isn't much. Obviously, I haven't been online crafting packs much in the last week, but there's a lot of people in the game that are saving packs. And what happens when people save packs is there's less supply on the market, less supply for fodder, and people that are still crafting these SBCs are going to need fodder. So they're going to be saving packs, but they're not replenishing the fodder that they're using in SBCs with those packs because they're saving them for Team of the Year, which actually causes fodder to go up a little bit before Team of the Year happens. And so I think with that idea alone, we're looking at some pretty good prices on these cards. So 83 rated, 0 risk involved. If you guys don't want to take any risk on an investment, this is a card that will make you profit, and it's just about patience. Because if we take a look at some of these cards, we'll look at Botman first. This card, 900 coins, 850 on bid. He has spiked up, and all of 83s have done this. Look, 2.4 thousand coins, you're nearly tripling your coins. That happened in early November. He spiked up to 2K again, late November. He was down for the last couple of weeks at 900 coins. He spiked up to 1.2, 1.3 just yesterday. And so you're looking at a card that's at discard price, no risk involved, and has the opportunity to go up upwards of 2,000 coins with a good repeatable SBC. So it's something to keep in mind. 84s are very, very good as well. I mean, we'll take a look at this one, Alex Ramiro. His card right now going for, let's look at, is it going to load? Might not load, but 2.4 or 2.1 thousand coins right now for 84 rated. These are cards that have gotten upwards of 5K during this year so far. Very, very big rise in price on these cards. Caroline, we can look at this. Look, 5,000 coins on an 84 rated card. And it's the lowest that this card has been since October 29th. This is the lowest it's been. So it's been about a month and a half since they've been at 2,000 coins. And so you're looking at a very, very low risk buy right now for 84s that could also double in price. And I think that these cards are more subject to go up even than those 83 rateds, despite the fact that during Black Friday, we actually saw a rise on the 83s, whereas the 84s didn't really go up as much. They went up a little bit, but not nearly as much as those 83 rated cards during Black Friday. But at 2,000 coins, it's hard to say no. If you have 9 million coins like I do, I definitely am not even against going in on 84s and just buying 9 million coins worth of them. So it's any budget at all, you can get involved in these. And then you move up the line, 86s look really good too. This is the lowest that they've been, guys. 10,000 coins for the 86s. You can see Pedri has actually spiked up there, but let's go ahead and take a look at Nkunku. Is he also over 11K? So yeah, 10,000 coins is roughly what they're at. As you can see, it's more of a flat line, but it's been settled more so at like 13,000 coins, I'd say, is their average price where they sit normally. And then when they spike up, which they did about last week, went up to 16K. Right now they're 10. They can go up to 16K. So if you don't want to buy as many cards, like you don't want to go in on 83s because you have to buy, 10 or 11 83s to equal the amount of coins you spend on 186, it's not bad either. These cards often do spike up to like 13, 14K and sometimes 16K. So it's not bad either. Once you get up to the higher budget cards, I think there's less room for profit. Obviously 88s, they didn't spike during Black Friday, but if they were to bring out a direct SBC that targeted 88s during Team of the Year, you could see them go up a lot. And then 91 right now, they're not like the super cheap price. Like if these cards were like 57, 56K, I'd be saying buy. But at 68K, I think we're going to get a better price. So I'm really looking at those low budget cards. You might be saying, well, why would we be investing in low budget for Mbappe? And the reason is because Mbappe, even though he's going to have an impact on the fodder market, what it's actually going to do is it's going to clear out any fodder people have in their club. And so it's kind of like the first wave. And then the second wave that comes in will actually bring those cards up in price. And I think the best example of this is we can look at one of these 83s and look at what I mean by a card getting hit by the first wave of demand. This is Dusan Vlahovic. And the first time a wave of demand came in and rose these 83s, he actually went up to 1.5, 1.6 thousand coins, right? And that card went from 900 to 1.6. That alone is a huge, huge profit, all right? You got to think about the return on investment percentage on that. insane. And then he dropped down. He didn't get all the way down to discard again. And then the second wave of demand came through, and that's when he spiked up the most. So if you're patient enough to wait it out and actually take a risk, you could actually wait until that second rise and make the most profit. And that's what's going to happen before or during Team of the Year this year. I brought this team up earlier today to talk about Locatelli, but now I'm going to talk about other investments in this team that I think could work out, in which cards you should probably stay away from until Monday. But we have Group D playing on Monday, and that includes cards such as Fabinho and such as Phillips, and I believe Makengo and Ivan Cavallero, two really cheap guys right there, have an opportunity to go up in price in the hype because there's not a ton of risk on those cards, but then again, the cards themselves aren't spectacular, so that's the reason that they're close to discard. But I think Fabinho might be one of the low-key shouts as an investment for a long-term a profit that's pretty much guaranteed. So this Fabinho card is obviously 87 rated. 87 rated cards go for like 14, 15K, but 88 rated cards, they go for 24 or 25K, which means that if Fabinho and his pro get to that upgrade, which is only one win out of 4 matches, he's going to go to 88 rated, which means that he absolutely cannot go down just because of SBC fodder. But that also has an opportunity to go to 89 rated. Now, unless his pro gets 10 points on the match day, he's not going to go to 89 in December. You're going to have to wait till January. But if his pro is able to rack up 6 or 7 points and get close to that 10 points, then you're going to see this card rise throughout the next couple of weeks as he slowly gets closer and closer and closer to that 89 rated fodder mark, because people are going to invest in that. And we've seen this method work really well with some Thunderstruck cards like Kim Little, who we invested in at 30K and went all the way to 50,000 coins because her card went up to, as you can see, 90 rated from, I believe it was 88 rated as her default. And we invested at 30K. Went up to 51,000 coins, made 20K profit per card. Now, 89 rated cards are going for 38,000 coins, as we saw earlier, which means that if this Fabinho is to go up to 89 rated, you're making 15K per card minimum. But again, you might have to wait a while. So it's going to be a slow burner, but it's a no-risk investment. If you were to invest in this card and he doesn't get any upgrades, then yeah, he could go down in price. But that's only happened for a couple of cards so far, so the odds are in your favor, and I don't dislike it. But when you're looking at cards like Calvin Phillips, this is a card that if he doesn't get a ton of upgrades, is going to plummet in price. He's probably been one of the most invested in cards for Group D because of the fact that DH Tex is his pro player, who is a favorite to do well in Group D. But what we saw is with Samakin, his card got overinvested in because of Anders Vergang being his pro. Anders did everything he needed to do. He ended up getting to 10 points, got 2 upgrades, went from 84 to 87 rated, yet still went from 36K down to 23,000 coins, even after the upgrades. So it's super risky to hold these cards into Monday. So what I would say is wait until the upgrades happen. See which cards do look much better with those upgrades, which ones don't crash with the upgrade, and what you can maybe find is cards like Locatelli or Ogbonna or Dele Alli, which happened in Group C, which is going to be those cards in Group D. And there's no risk involved with waiting until after the games are over, after the upgrades come out, analyzing those upgrades, and then making your decision on when to buy. I think that's what you need to do rather than hold these cards into Monday. But that's it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching to the end. If you made it to the end of the video, let me know, did you do the 92 Mbappe Player of the Month with this new one coming out? Did you do that 92 Mbappe? Let me know yes or no down below. Drop a like on the video if you haven't yet. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.